Boys, good afternoon. Happy hump day. This beautiful week one. Here per request from your fantasy runner-up from last year. Looking for a little power rankings, a little drafting grades. Everybody's drafts suck this year. Nobody's rosters are actually really good. Nobody actually stands out. There are a lot of basement teams, a lot of teams, this week projected under 100 points, which, guys, if you're not familiar with how this works, if you don't score 100 points, you're not going to win. That's not very good. So let's get right to this. In our last spot, number 12, we have Rick, Washington Foreskins. Your team is horrendous. Really, all you have is Aaron Rodgers. That's it. And he doesn't even have Jordy Nelson anymore, so who knows if he's going to put up the 18, 20 points a game. I think they're going to rely a little bit more on Eddie Lacy, but other than that, you have nobody. C.J. Anderson, who projected 17 points this week, but he's never going to ever get anywhere close to that. I will donate $10 to the league pot if C.J. Anderson gets over 17.7 points this week. It's just not ever going to happen. He's going to get hurt within the first 5 weeks. You are the last place team. Draft grade, F-. Not good. All right, number 11, we have Ethan Wells. Absolute head-scratcher of a draft. Took in Andrew Luck as your number 2 pick. Hey. F-. Took Andrew Luck as your number 2 pick. Clearly not working at ESPN anymore. Really don't have any idea where that came from. You could have got any sort of running back and still got Andrew Luck in the second round. But now you're left with Alfred Morris, Latavius Murray, and you took T.Y. Hilton to go along with Andrew Luck. So if one of those guys get hurt, you're kind of fucked even more than you already are. Only projected 91.5 points this week. That is the absolute lowest of any team in this draft. Just kind of giving you the benefit of the doubt here with the number 11 ranking. Draft grade, F-. Moving on to number 10. This is where it got a little bit tricky. A lot of middle-of-the-pack teams here. 2 clear, bad teams. But I have at number 10, he's not going to like this very much, but I have Pat Pike, ODBHJ. Other than Eddie Lacy and Julio Jones, team's not very good. I think he's kind of banking on Devontae Adams to kind of shine when he's not really proven at all. Martavis Bryant suspended. Pat just overall just not good at fantasy, so that's what lands him at number 10. Doug Martin as your flex. That's not going to work for you. Projected 102.4 points this week. The lowest out of anybody, over 100. So you get a D+. Gotta work on that. Number 9, I have Sammy. Even though he drafted auto draft, he still ended up with a halfway decent team. Peyton Manning, his wide receiver core is AJ Green, Alshon Jeffrey. You guys gotta stop sending Facebook messages. And he still has Le'Veon Bell on the bench. He's gonna come back, and he's gonna slide right into his running back position. Actually, team looks pretty good, barring any retarded trades that he's bound to do or leaving Le'Veon Bell on the bench for the rest of the year. I think he may do all right. Projected at 96.8 this week, but when Le'Veon Bell comes up, it's going to be in the mid hundreds. So you get a F. Can't auto draft. You do this again this year, you're out. To number 8. We have Pat Top, E Bottom Riley. Interesting draft by him. Waited on the quarterbacks. Cam Newton, not going to have a good year this year without Kevin Benjamin. No one to really throw it to. I think he's going to have a down year. Although Matt Forte, completely healthy. Melvin Gordon, rookie, who has a lot of upside there. Tight end is a bit of a question mark for him, but Deshaun Jackson in the flex, pretty good there considering everyone else's flex looks horrendous this year. Riley, you get a C. So number 7, we have Shug. Shug, very interesting draft as well. You never really know if he actually knows what he's doing or if he sneaky does know what he's doing. Complete wild card in fantasy this year. But a lot of rookie play. TJ Yeldon, Mari Cooper, Abudallah, could be ceiling, could be basement for those guys. Randall Cobb, already a little bit injured. And Jabal Charles losing a bit of the workload. When you could have had Adrian Peterson, that was a stupid pick on you, but I appreciate it. Projected 104.9 points this week. Pretty decent, but you get a C+, not a PA, grad school grade you're looking for. Moving on to number 6, Dan Career. Dan Career. Interesting. Drew Brees, Saints are moving more towards a run-heavy offense, but his wide receivers look really good. Antonio Brown could be the number 1 fantasy player overall. Julian Edelman, Owen Daniels actually going to have a huge year this year, and I think Andre Johnson could have a big year as well. Andrew Luck throwing to him. But other than that, Rashad Jennings, Lamar Miller, always injury risk. You never really know there. Also projected in the 104s, but I think a little bit better team than Suggs because a little bit more proven players on his front. I'd rather have Lamar Miller and Jennings than Yeldon and Abudallah. So you get a big fat B. Moving on to number 5. Hold on one second. Nobody in Boston's working today. Number 5, I have Tyler, Rick's aching appendix. Running back core looks awesome this year. DeMarco Murray, Jeremy Hill, both those guys are going to put up, high teens, 20 points a game. Also like his wide receiver core, even though they're not as high profile. I think Vincent Jackson, healthy this year, is going to have a big year. Jordan Matthews and that Eagles offense is going to be huge. And then Russell Wilson, Jimmy Graham to throw to now. Always those rushing TDs. Pretty balanced team, pretty good looking team, just no flex play. A lot of C- guys at the flex and on his bench. So you've got to make a trade to get some sort of flex play there for you. But projected 105.8 points this week. Good, better than everybody in the 103s, 104s, obviously. So Tyler, you get a B-. All right, moving to the top 4. Number 4, I have myself, the returning champion. Couldn't put myself any higher just because of all the injuries I have. Kind of banking on Todd Gurley to come back healthy, LaFell to come back, Antonio Gates to come off of his suspension with a little bit of motivation trying to win a spot back. But Adrian Peterson fell to me, Calvin Johnson, Mike Evans, those guys are going to be monsters this year, putting up all high teens, almost 20 points a game. Ryan Tannehill going to be top 5 quarterback this year. Bank on that. And I'm always good for a couple trades. So that puts myself at the number 4 with a B+ grading, 108 points projected this week. Top 3 was tough. I find myself always talking about Sean and Fassel in the top 3, 4, but also found myself looking at John Shabbat's team this year within the top 3. Have him at number 3, 109.3 points projected this week. Really looked into his team, and he's the most balanced team overall. Not a lot of huge star power other than Des Bryant, but smart, going early with Justin Forsett. Chris Ivory actually going to have a big year this year. And Isaiah Crowell is going to be huge. That Cleveland offensive line are all monsters. They got rid of Terrence West. He's the number 1 guy there now. It's going to be huge. So really well done drafting this year. The only downfall I see with John is sitting on this team, and Chris Ivory gets hurt. Forsett doesn't put up the numbers, and it kind of tanks at the end of the year. So, John, make moves. Be smart about your team. Please check my trades out. Draft grade, though, you get an A+, buddy. Really, really great job. Unreal. For you. All right, top 2. This was tough. The top 2 guys, like I said before, no one's team is over the top good. Nobody is 100% better than the other team. Anybody can win on any given week. But at number 2, I have Fassel. Projected at 110.6 points this week. Him and Sean were the only one projected in the above 110. And Fassel's team actually looks pretty good. He slept through half of the draft, so I give him credit on that. At the beginning of the year, he has Alfred Blue. He's going to get all the snaps in Houston, up until week 4, 5, 6. And that's going to be huge for him. He just has to make some moves to shore that flex position up. Maybe drop Reggie Wayne. And then Joseph Randall, I think he's going to get all the snaps in Dallas, but at the beginning it's going to be by committee. LaShawn McCoy, kind of iffy, but all really huge upsides on this. And he has Gronk. Gronk's, sure thing, touchdown every game. Huge in that tight end position. Fassel, you get an A. Really good work. Then number 1, really hate talking about this all the time, but Sean, I don't know if he just looks at projections, what he does. Maybe next time I will get blackout and pick all Patriots at the beginning of the draft as well, but his team ended up being the best. Tom Brady, huge for him coming back. If he was without Tom Brady for the first 4 games, starting Carson Palmer, he'd be in a tough position right now. But Tom Brady, he's on a mission this year. He's going to put up 20-plus points each game. Marshawn Lynch, value took a hit with Fred Jackson a bit, but still the beast. He's going to get those goal line touches. Going to get those touchdowns. Odell Beckham Jr., you never really know sophomore slump, but he starts in Dallas. He's going to have a huge game there. The only thing is he's got no wide receiver flex play after ODB. Brandon Marshall, iffy. He's in a Jets uniform now. You got to know that. Torrey Smith, never good, especially not going to be good in San Francisco. And then the bench looks pretty slim, but projected at 114.2 this week. It's got to be number 1. So those are the power rankings, boys, this year. It's just going to be a shit show. Anybody, like I said, anybody can win on any given day. But what it all boils down to is the midseason moves, and we all know who the champion was last year, and we all know why. Making trades throughout the year. Ended up being me. It's going to be me again. So this is all I got to say.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Not again. Yeah, I learned the game from William Wesley. You can never check me. Back to back for the niggas that didn't get the message. Back to back like I'm on the cover of Lethal Weapon. Back to back like I'm Jordan 96, 97. Whoa, very important and very pretentious. When I look back, I might be mad at that, boys.